Okay, so you should have gotten the notification that the recording is in progress. So like I said, this is what today's info session is going to cover. So the first program that we're going to talk a little bit about is the UF in Italy Animal Science program. Right now we are working on the dates. I do have tentative dates already posted on the program brochure page itself. And because I have a staffer that is here who did the program, I am going to absolutely let her go for it.
All right, so my program was a little bit different than the program's going to be this year. Right now, everything's pretty up in the air, but my program was a month long, but I think it had to be shortened into 2 weeks. I think that's what they're going with, but it's still kind of up in the air, like I said. So we start in Florence, you start in apartments in Florence, and while you're here, you do some things in Florence, but you also make day trips to different cities in Italy, including visiting some vet schools, dairy production places, as well as some different production places in management. You get to see like dairy production, like making cheese, going through the different Parmesan, you get to see mozzarella, you get to see, what's the word, prosciutto. So those are all really cool. I think it's about a week in Florence now versus longer when I did it, but after Florence, you go to Rome for a couple days, 2 or 3 or 4, not sure what he decided on. You stay in a hotel in Rome. The hotels are very nice, and you get a city tour, and we also visit a couple of farms in Rome. And it's a very historic city, definitely one of the cities I wanted to visit in Italy. So I love that we were able to go there. And then you end off the program in a great way in Sorrento. And here you're also able to visit some different production facilities. You get to see like the difference between how they manage Italy in the north and in the south, which is definitely different. And it's definitely a great way to immerse in the culture itself. And I'm not sure like which experiences they kept in versus got rid of, but I do have the itinerary if anyone is interested. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Faciola has it as well. So you can reach out to him.
Yeah, the running theme is the faculty that lead their programs are going to be the best resource for a lot of the in-depth information about their programs because they'll be the ones who are on the ground with you while you're abroad. Once we have nailed out the dates and the cost for the program, not only will this be updated, but the program brochure itself will be updated as well. So that's the best way to see any kind of updates for your program is that brochure page. The second program that we have, this one actually is closing tomorrow, is the UF in Italy Food Production and Consumption Program. So I won't go too much in detail on this just because at this point we are doing spots for the wait list. The program itself is 3 weeks in Italy. You're going to actually learn the farm to table to mass production side of Italian food. You'll get to stay at agriturismos, which are essentially agricultural bed and breakfasts that all have an agricultural aspect to them, whether it's something in the dairy world, if it's in the meat world, if it's a specific type of grape for a wine. The possibilities are kind of endless. You're going to get to sample a lot of classic Italian foods and food systems, and you'll do a lot of guided tours honestly throughout the program. The cool thing about this program itself is that this is the only program in Italy that also includes time in Sicily. So if you're really looking to immerse yourself in a less traveled side of Italy, this is definitely it because there are not nearly as many students getting to experience this. There is also a UF in Italy History of Sustainable Construction program. This one will be during the summer A term. The program itself is worth 3 credits. You'll stay in apartments and hotels. You'll get to visit 3 main cities, Rome, Venice, and Vicenza. They will spend a lot of time, this program is typically about 3 weeks in length, but you'll spend quite a bit of time in Rome and Venice with a couple of days in Vicenza. You'll also hit up Florence on the way to see some of the most lasting buildings and the impact that they've had on modern society and the construction techniques that we use today. Dr. Mark Russell always runs a fantastic program and he takes usually around 20 to 25 students. And students for the program always have rave reviews to, about like what they've experienced. You'll get to do a lot of sightseeing at actual, at the locations of it. Your classroom is not necessarily an actual classroom, but it's you getting to go out and do and see and talk to people who study these kinds of, not landscapes, buildings, thank you, structures. But it is really cool. You don't have to be into the DCP, like Design Construction Planning College. You don't have to be into any kind of like architecture side of things. It is open to all majors, and I usually have quite a few students that absolutely love to get to see the difference of the South and North architecture styles too, and the influence of other cultures. There is UF Rome Business Language and Culture. This program happens during summer C. While it is geared towards business students and does have requirements of business classes as part of the courses, as part of the program itself, you can also be a non-business student taking classes. It's a mix of UFGPA credit and transfer credit. The UFGPA classes are the ones that are business focused, and they are typically taught online in a specific section for the students that are abroad, versus the transfer credit that is taught at St. John's University in Rome. And these classes can cover anything from like Italian language to Italian architecture. There's a really cool Italian culture class that also infuses like food into the culture, because that is a really big part of it. I think they're looking to add a couple of more options for next summer. And once I have the course listings of it, our program page will be updated, but the page on the business website will also be updated. Students typically stay in dorms for this program throughout the semester on St. John's University's campus, and you're basically you're staying essentially upstairs in the same buildings where you have your classes as well. The campus itself is pretty centralized in Rome, so you're really not too far from being able to actually, spend an afternoon going to the Coliseum, or if you wanted to take a train and go to Sorrento, you definitely can do that as well. One of the other programs that we have is UF Rome Language and Culture. This one will be during summer B. They are aiming to leave around June 20th right now. That's what their date looks like. You can earn 6 to 8 UFGPA credits for either Italian language, a specific Italian culture class, or classics courses. The program itself is really quite robust in the sense that you're there for a full 6 weeks. But they also include 2 weekend trips as part of the program. So one of the weekend trips that you'll take is 4 days in Florence. You'll get to have a couple of guided tours. You'll stay in a local like family-owned hotel while you're there. And then you'll also do a weekend in Isca, which is it's honestly an island off the coast near like where Sorrento is in the Amalfi Coast, but it's where the locals actually vacation versus like something like Capri where all the tourists go. It's really great in terms of immersing into a lot more local culture than just staying somewhere where all of the rest of the tourists stay. Yeah, and then the accommodation, so you'll be in apartments or like dorm-like apartments while you're in Rome, and then hotels when you're in Isca and in Florence. They also typically do a day trip to Hadrian's Villa in Pompeii, which is really cool. So if you're looking for something that offers UFGPA classes, wanting to take Italian language, and has a really, really great sense of program trips associated with it, this is definitely the option I would suggest. UF in Sorrento, there are 2 options for this program. There is a Mediterranean culture and a Mediterranean and culture internships option. This one also happens during summer B. Sorrento is a really good city in terms of being just different enough that it's a little bit more like a small beachside town if the beach were on cliffs. It's really great because you'll get to experience a little bit of their history, and by a little bit I mean a good deal of their history with the mafia, because the mafia was definitely a bigger not issue, but a different concept in the South. So they will, every student on the program takes the same class with Paloma Rodriguez, the director. And it studies like it says, migration, economic trends and challenges in the European Union of the Mediterranean itself. And then you can take another class as part of the program. You can take something like Introduction to Marine Sciences, which is really cool because they literally have a lab on the coast that you'll get to do quite a few of your classes at. They have a history of the mafia course, which is cool. I actually got to sit in on the class when I went 2 years ago. It was a little violent, but the content itself was really, really fascinating. They usually also have like a writing course that you can do, and then there's the internship side of things. For those of you that are looking into doing internships, the only negative about this program is that it is typically 5 weeks and not 6. So if you're a business student and your program has to be 6 weeks in length, this is not the program for you. But as far as internships goes, they have incredible placements at local agricultural farms. They've worked with some NGOs. I've had students work at 5-star hotels, and I don't just mean like at the pushing paperwork. They actually get to learn the business side of it, which is really cool. They have quite a few tourism and hospitality placements. They've got some placements in local businesses and startups, which is really neat. If you're looking for more of like the entrepreneurship side of things, definitely worth it. The program itself stays in residence halls. So you typically are roomed with 1 or 2 other students from UF, and then you have shared kitchen space. And the dorms themselves have they look out and it's basically just the Mediterranean, and it's incredibly beautiful. As much as I love the northern side of Italy from my time going there, I think there's just something speechless about experiencing Sorrento. UF in Florence, I'll kind of let you take a little bit of this and then I'll follow it up, but go for it.
So UF in Florence Global Perspectives, it's a really great program that really fits all majors that you can be interested in. There's so many classes. Some are more fun, some are more serious. For example, like the food and wine class is a really fun class. And you get apartments throughout the city. You can be, I know some people that were right across the street from the Duomo, and some people that were on the local side of town, and some people that were right on the river. So a lot of different opportunities to have incredible living areas and incredible experiences. And I know you also do a couple excursions throughout Italy, which are really interesting and a really also great opportunity to learn.
Yeah, and actually I'm not going to talk about this program as much because I legitimately have an info session tomorrow virtually for this one where we will only talk about UF in Florence, just because there are so many options for the program itself. So if you're really interested, tomorrow, virtual only, I'm doing an info session on this. You're more than welcome to join. Okay, so financial aid. I did forget one program. Like I said, it's so new that I haven't had time to add it. It is UF in Italy Human Performance. So this is hosted by the College of Health and Human Performance on campus. Essentially, it will take place in 2 locations, Florence and in Rome. The class listing that you'll have an option 1 and an option 2, because option 1 will be your morning class, option 2 will be your afternoon class. It's worth 6 UF GPA credits, so you can take 1 from option 1, 1 from option 2, and that will be your 6 credits in turn. The program itself will include a couple of excursions. Ooh, let me scroll down. A couple of excursions like the Galleria della Accademia, the Uffizi galleries. You'll get to go to quite a few of the cathedrals, like the really big popular ones that everyone knows about. They'll also do the Colosseum and Pantheon visit while you're in Rome. They do have a pasta making class for the whole group, which will be kind of fun. There are quite a few programs like animal science, food production and consumption, sustainable construction. Well, they'll take anywhere from 18 to 25-ish students per program. Florence is massive. We usually take 250 per term, and then this program will usually take around 60 students. But students will stay in hostels for the duration of the program itself. And then don't believe I have costs associated with it, but like I said, once I do, this page will be updated with that information. So this one is relatively new. These are the dates for the program that I currently have right now and some of the faculty that will be teaching. So if you're interested in some of the courses, you can either reach out to the program director, Mike Fitzgerald, or any of the faculty co-directors who are going to be teaching abroad. Okay, pivoting back to my little presentation. So financial aid. You can use your financial aid to go towards the cost of some of these programs. Bright Futures would apply to any program that is at least 6 credits in length. That's the conversion you can use to calculate how many or how much Bright Futures that you will get to your program. There is the little question at the bottom, what if my program is only 3 credits? The rule of thumb from the registrar and the Student Financial Aid's office is that as long as you are registered for 6 credits in the summer, you can use financial aid. So if you are doing like the UF in Italy food production to consumption program, which is only 3 credits, but you decide that you are taking a 3-credit class either during summer A, during summer B, or during summer C, you are then eligible for financial aid. So 6 credits in total over the course of summer makes you eligible for financial aid. For Florida prepaid, it completely depends on the plan that you have that is unique to you as a person. Usually when students ask me how much prepaid pays out is that you actually already know the answer to that in your Florida prepaid account. So as long as you have credits available for it, you can check under Florida prepaid to determine how much they will pay out per credit hour towards the tuition and fees. Loans as well, it just depends. Most of them is as long as you're enrolled in 6 credit hours apply. Rather than asking me, who does not work for the Student Financial Aid Office, I recommend that you ask the Student Financial Aid Office. They'll be able to tell you a little bit more information about SFA side of things. We also have some scholarships, so that QR code will take you to our scholarships page. We have opened Scholarship Universe applications for the summer term as well. We are running all of our scholarships through a new system that has been requested of us of the Student Financial Aid Office. We offer scholarships up to $1,000, but to be so real, applications are very competitive for summer term because that's when we send the most of our students abroad. We try and offer out as much money as possible for the summer term, but just note that during summer, we usually are sending anywhere from like 1,500 to 1,900 students abroad, so there's no way for us to offer scholarships for every student. Applications themselves are now open. On that webpage, you should also find a helpful how-to guide to navigating Scholarship Universe because we are not the only department on campus to use this for scholarships as well. Our study rep peer advisors also have a scholarship. If you want to talk just real quick about it at all. Or anything that they need to know, the deadline is here, just. Well, I mean for summer.
Oh, okay, for summer.
Yeah.
So we do have a study abroad peer advisor scholarship. It's a really great opportunity. It comes from, part of it comes from the course that people buy. For after you study abroad, you can graduate and get a course. So once you graduate, you can put money back into the system to help other people study abroad, which is a really great opportunity. Applications for the summer just passed.
I think for spring have passed.
Spring have passed, and applications for the summer are still open.
Yes. Yeah, and it is kind of nice because usually the SAPA or Study Abroad Peer Advisor Scholarship has a later deadline than ours do. So if you happen to miss our deadline, odds are theirs is open for another week or 2. There are some scholarships that are offered by other departments and colleges on campus. So College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Business, Engineering, the Honors Program, the Center for European Studies, they all have scholarships as well for students. You don't have to belong to that specific college to apply for it. Usually I have some students that maybe are business students that are studying on a liberal arts and sciences or an engineering program. They are eligible to apply for those scholarships outside of that as well. If you are a Pell Grant recipient, you can apply for the Gilman Scholarship. They offer up to $5,000 for a study abroad program during the summer, which is definitely very helpful. On our website, which I'll show you just in a second, we also have an events tab. So we do some scholarship info sessions and scholarship writing workshops if you want assistance in editing an essay for either the Gilman or the UF International Center scholarships or anything for the Study Abroad Peer Advisor one. We're happy to look that over for you during one of our workshops. If our workshop has passed, there is also the Center for Writing in Turlington Plaza, which if you did not know that existed, you can take them any kind of academic or professional writing sample and they will help you edit that as well. So free UF tip for those of you who did not know that. And then we have a bubble that also includes national scholarship, and that really just varies. These scholarships are usually either regional based, based for students that are of a minority, or they're going to study a specific subject area. They vary just because it is everything that's outside of the UF community. We've tried to make sure and put anything that students have previously earned at UF on the page, but it is not comprehensive. Otherwise it'd be like a Google search and have like millions of hits. So there is also some study abroad search engines at the very bottom of the page that include searching for scholarship opportunities for things outside of the UF community. On a student's perspective, the Study Abroad Peer Advisors are a really good resource to talk to students who have either done the program that you're interested in or have studied in a location that you're thinking about. They're always happy to talk about their experience and also a lot of the beginning stages of what it's like to go through the application process. We also have a global Gator blog that is student run. It offers perspectives for semester, academic year, and summer programs throughout Italy. It's a really good resource as well if you're, I don't know, up late at 2 in the morning and you're like, I don't know, should I go to Florence or should I go to Sorrento? Odds are somebody has written about the experience of what they have done travel-wise of going to that location. They've participated in the program, and it's definitely like more diary-based entry, which is really helpful. I will also plug our social media at this point. We have an Instagram account, UF Study Abroad, really easy to find. We do Instagram takeovers for a lot of our students who are abroad currently, and we usually save them as highlights up at the very top. If you're looking at what it looks like for like a day in their life of, you know, the classes that they've taken, the public transportation they've used, what they had for breakfast, where they like to study, it's a really good option as well of looking at that too. So what I would suggest as your next steps are looking through the UF sponsored program brochure of your choice. It'll give you a lot more specific information. Like I said, this is supposed to be an overview of what we have available right now, also to be able to link you to the resources that we have. If you have questions about the content of the courses that you'll be taking or specific details, you can always reach out to the program director, that's the faculty that will be abroad with you, or one of the Study Abroad Peer Advisors who's done the program. Once you've picked the program that you're interested in, it's really important for you to not just open an application for the first one that you think you're interested in, because you can only open one application per term. So if you're looking at 3 programs that are all in summer A and you open an application for one, you can't have another application open for the same summer A. So make sure that you have decided where you would like to go. You'll complete all of the documents found in the application portal. You'll get your academic advisor form signed by your academic advisor and the UF faculty director of the program, and then you'll submit the completed form to the email that's listed on page 2. Once you've completed your application, at that time, you're just going to wait until the deadline has passed for what the next steps are. Those are usually going to be communicated in twofold from the faculty director and from myself in our office. And then this is also a really great time for you to either apply or renew your passport. If you were a minor the last time you had a passport, you might have to apply for the first time for your non-minor associated passport, or look at what the expiration date of your current passport and make sure that it is good for at least 6 months after the term that you're looking to study abroad. So if you're thinking about wanting to do a summer B program, you're going to be abroad until about August. So August, September, October, November, December, January. You need your passport to be good through like January of 2026. But yeah, if you have further questions, I'm going to stop screen share, or I'm not going to stop screen sharing, but I will stop recording this, and then you can feel free to put questions in the chat or unmute yourself and ask questions, but let me go ahead and stop recording.